What else can you say about Michigan? They're a great football team. They're dominant. But I need to come up with something to talk about on these reactions other than a generic Michigan's really good. And it's J.J. McCarthy, and the Wolverines can beat you in whatever way they want to beat you.
From L.A. to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
I think the Wolverines had a wee bit of motivation with everything that kind of went on this week, and really everything that's kind of gone on, even going back to before the season with the 3-game Jim Harbaugh suspension. This was already a supremely talented college football team, and now you just seem to be pouring fuel onto the fire kind of thing. Of course, we're going to find out what the sign stealing is and how legitimate it is as we kind of go on through for this investigation, but that's another story for another time. This one's all about Michigan. I believe that they are, and they continue to show that they are the most dominant team in the country. You've seen Georgia at times struggle to beat Auburn, struggle to beat South Carolina, whereas Michigan has been completely dominant, really from start to finish, all of this college football season. This one was a little bit different, right? That running game wasn't as physically imposing as maybe it is. You didn't have the big-time numbers in the run game so far in this one, where Michigan lines up at the line of scrimmage. It's a great offensive line, just pushes and pushes. Yeah, they had a good day. Yeah, they had a solid day. But this one was all about J.J. McCarthy. This they put on film today where, hey, if Michigan can't play bully ball, and if Michigan, I don't know if it's today, I don't know if it's that they couldn't, or Michigan State sold out on that part, because I thought the run game was okay, but it's the pass game. It's J.J. McCarthy, man. He's not going to put up numbers where he might be a Heisman, like a Michael Penix or any of those Caleb Williams or any of those quarterbacks in the Pac-12 that are going to be getting a lot of the attention. But his numbers today and the way they really ran their offense today, JJ is kind of looking the part, really, as a Heisman contender. You look at 21 of 27 passing, 287 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I think the thing that really stands out to me about J.J. McCarthy, his mobility, his ability to get outside the pocket, throw on the run, create more time for himself, and really even you go even further into the quarterback run game as well, his scrambling ability to do things with his legs, and then you look at design quarterback run, like a zone read type of thing. But J.J. McCarthy is that dude. He is, I think there's no question, he is the best quarterback in this conference, and I think it's by a good amount right now based on what we saw kind of from Drew Aller in today's game against Ohio State. There's a lot on this Michigan team that says they got the best this, they got the best that. But in football, if you've got the best quarterback, in this case we're talking about the Big Ten, if you've got the best quarterback, you're in really good shape. Now, I mentioned the Big Ten. You look all around, I said before, he's not going to put up gigantic numbers. That's just not how Michigan plays the game. He proved today that he can make those throws. You put him in a Washington system, you put him in a USC system, he's going to put up similar numbers because he's got similar and maybe even better arm talent than those guys. This is without question, when you look at from an NFL point of view, when you look at it from a talent point of view, not necessarily statistics, he's as good as it gets. He is a great prospect right now. I believe he is one of the most talented quarterbacks in all of college football. In a game like this, look, I know Michigan State. Look, I know they're going through some tough times. I know the last few years that pass defense has not been very good. It's been the weakness of this Michigan State defense, but this still continues to be impressive, not only for Michigan, but what J.J. McCarthy continues to do. These blowouts are kind of the worst thing for a team like an Ohio State, for a team like a Penn State, because I believe, and I've said this many times, and I'm going to sound like a broken record each time I do one of these Michigan videos. It really enhances the depth of this team. When you get some of those second-team guys, those third-team guys, and they get a quarter and they get a quarter and a half of playing time? Man, what happens when a guy or a second stringer, those guys get hurt, and you got to play one of those third teamers? Now they've got that playing experience, and it just makes Michigan that much stronger. Especially when you get into some of these blowouts, they look that much stronger because these guys have been on the field before. I think another thing this passing performance for Michigan really proved is they distribute the ball maybe better than anybody in college football. Today was the tight ends. It was the day of the tight ends for both Colston Loveland and A.J. Barner, a really great duo of tight ends. But if you look at Barner with 8 catches, you look at Loveland with 4, you look at Samaj Morgan with 3, Cornelius Johnson with 3, Donovan Edwards with 3, Roman Wilson with 2. You know, I know some of those were in garbage time and all of that, but that is some really good distribution. There is a lot of guys across the formation that can beat you through the pass game for Michigan, and I think that's what makes this things a little bit easier for J.J. McCarthy. There's not maybe a number one guy that they try to get to. Hey, like today, if the tight ends are working, we're going to get it to the tight ends. If there's a day the deep ball is working, we're going to fire it long to Roman Wilson. Sometimes they'll get the slot guys involved. Sometimes it'll be Samaj Morgan. Sometimes it'll be some of these other guys in this passing offense for Michigan. They can do it any way they want to. Balanced, heavy run, heavy pass. The offense is probably going to get a lot of attention for Michigan, especially J.J. McCarthy, after a performance like this. But this is just another ho-hum, fantastic defensive performance as well. I know there was a lot put in, and they proved it on Saturday, a lot put into that Ohio State-Penn State matchup in terms of the defenses. Michigan is right there statistically, one of the 3 best defenses in all of college football with the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions. And today, look, once again, I'm going to say it again. I know Michigan State, this is a broken football team right now. But the Michigan depth continues to be on display as we continue to go throughout this season. This could have been a game maybe, where Nathan Carter maybe could have gotten a couple of things going, and then maybe they could have worked some play action off of that with Caden Hauser. Didn't happen. Nathan Carter, 17 carries, 36 yards. That's just over 2 a pop. Michigan did what they needed to do. They're leaving no doubt. Sometimes there's teams that are highly ranked. Oklahoma, a 2-point win over UCF. I've already mentioned Georgia. Florida State has had some squeakers so far this season. Michigan is one of the very few teams in college football that is leaving no doubt every time they step on the field. This is such a difficult situation for Michigan State with everything that's going on in that program right now. I think I mentioned this before, I know Noah Kim's a little bit banged up, but I think you want to continue to get Caden Hauser some reps. He's young. I think he can improve the more reps he's going to get. I think he has shown some talent at the quarterback position, but this is a difficult situation. Some injuries haven't gone their way as well this season. I really worry about where Michigan State is going to become. If you're not a Big 3 team, and you play a Big 3 team, a lot of times you just got to say, they're on a completely different level. We can't judge ourselves when we face off against one of those teams. And I know that's really hard for a team like Michigan State when they have a bitter rivalry with Michigan. And they've had a decent amount of success going over the last 10 or so years. But right now, where Michigan State is and where a team like Michigan is, you can't look at this loss and you can't look at what happened and you can't come down super hard on yourselves. You need to say, it happened. Let's move on. What positives can we take away from this game to maybe win some of these other games down the stretch that we are going to be able to compete in? The last dance continues for the University of Michigan. I want to hear what you guys think of this utter, complete, dominant performance by the Michigan Wolverines. Do you think J.J. McCarthy will be a Heisman contender nationally? Do you think a lot of people nationally are going to start talking about J.J. McCarthy after this Michigan aerial performance against Michigan State? And where do you think this Sparty program is going? What can they be when this season is all said and done? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching Big Ten Ted, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.